The script the government is using right now, where they drop thousands of immigrants to our communities to undermine our political power and tank our labor leverage, not new. And it ain't a glitch or a crisis. It's a 160-year-old state strategy and attack. To understand what's happening in 2026, you have to look at the original receipts from the 1800s. Let's follow the money. Let's take it back to 1862. While your ancestors were literally on the front lines of the Union Army fighting for their basic freedom, the government passed the Homestead Act. They gave away 270 million acres of land just for free. But they didn't give it to the people who built the country's wealth. They gave it to European immigrants who just stepped off of a boat. They gave away your 40 acres you originally owned to a buffer class before you could even re-own the dirt you were tilled on long before they got here. By 1890, Black Americans were the master tradesmen of the South. We were 80% of the skilled labor at that. So the government and big business legalized the Padrone system. They used labor brokers to import entire ships of contract labor from Europe to drop directly onto Black American job sites. They imported a workforce that literally couldn't speak the language just to make sure you couldn't organize for better pay. They physically pushed the Black American tradesmen off the docks and into the dirt. Sound familiar? Let's fast forward to 1911. Black Americans were dominating the service industry in the North. We were the barbers, the caterers, the porters, the list goes on. We had labor leverage. The government's response? The Dillingham Commission. A whopping 41 volumes of research that said Black Americans were too efficient and demanded too much. Their solution? Flood the cities with a new buffer class to break the Black American monopoly. They never ran out of workers. They just ran out of the people they could underpay. Again, sound familiar? Let's keep going. In 1965, the second we won the Voting Rights Act and the momentum for reparations were building, they passed the Hart-Celler Act, and they didn't do it for diversity. They did it to change the math. They swapped black for minority and lineage for diversity. They invited the whole world to the table to make sure your slice of the pie was as small as possible, translating to the least amount of power as possible. They diluted the debt by increasing the crowd. In 1980, they used the Marriott boat lift to crash the Black American economy in Miami just as we were winning city contracts. Then, in 1990, they created the diversity lottery to handpick a credentialed class from overseas. They brought in a model minority to act as a shield, using their fake success and fake degrees to shame your struggle, while using your poverty stats to get the funding. From 1862 to 2026, the strategy has always been the same. Whenever Black Americans fly too close to the sun, the government changes the demographics of the room. They would rather bring in 8 billion people than to have to deal with the debt that is owed to the 50 million Black Americans right here. The 160-year-old script has been working perfectly fine up until now. Them chickens have come home to roost.